What's up, people? So I feel kind of obligated to talk about this. I already got this diagram up. I made a couple of videos talking about this. This is what I call the governmental circle of life, and I was basically saying, people elect officials from their citizenry, from their ranks. The citizenry affect or elects officials. Okay, these officials are supposed to make decisions that benefit the citizenry. They'll decide they might want to make roads or an airport or something. They'll say, okay, we need money for that. So they'll say, okay, we're going to create an income tax or a sales tax or something. They'll say, okay, we'll pass that and say, that's how we're going to get our money. We're going to charge tax to the citizenry. And then the money goes from the citizenry into a fund that the government uses to do stuff like create roads, airports, hospitals, firefighters, fire stations, police stations, whatever, all that good stuff. Pay people's paychecks to do stuff that benefits the citizenry. So that's the healthy governmental circle of life. This I was talking about something else. But then I was talking about how this could go all wrong if people vote for people that aren't good people, and then you have corrupt people making decisions on what to spend money on, and instead of doing stuff that actually benefits the citizenry, they can spend on stuff that actually does the opposite, that actually could be bad for the citizenry. They could just take the money and just say, hey, we do whatever we want with it. They could do all types of crazy stuff. And that's actually what I want to talk about here. I want to talk about what happens when the government is not held accountable. You have a bunch of corrupt politicians that have all this money at their disposal. And here's something I had earlier. I had treasury bonds. Hold on. Treasury bonds are a way that a government can get even more money than what taxes afford. So if they're not getting enough money with taxes, they can say, oh, let's issue some treasury bonds and get even more money and go into debt, and then tell you later that you have to pay back that debt to with taxes. You see what I'm saying? And what was I gonna say? I got this blanked right now. Yeah. So if you don't vote for good people, if you don't hold them accountable, they have access not only to tax money, but they can also get extra money in there and then just spend it on all types of stuff. They can spend it on anything they want. They can start wars, which they've already done. There's a history of war with the United States, just crazy stuff. Actually, what inspired me to make this video, I just saw a picture of a child that was all like deformed, and it reminded me of what happened in Vietnam with Agent Orange, and a lot of the offspring of people there were all like mutated. Literally, people, children born mutated. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like one of the most evil things I've ever imagined. Just like doing that to unborn children, and they're being born into this world, just like almost ruining the prospect of certain people even reproducing, just making the environment so toxic with some chemical weapon that their children are born deformed and have no chance at life. That's like one of the most disgusting, evil things I can think of. And that's what happens when people don't hold the government accountable, and the government, with a bunch of corrupt people, decide to do crazy stuff. That's exactly what I want this video to be about, is not what the government's supposed to be, but what happens when people allow this healthy governmental circle of life to become a corrupt cycle. You're just sitting here, the government is made up of a bunch of people that you're not even paying very much attention to. They're like, hey, look, nobody's even paying attention to us. We can do almost whatever we want. Or they can just lie to you and tell you it's for this reason or that reason. And they'll say, okay, well, we want to do this. We want to start a war. We want to do this. Put money in our own pockets, whatever. And they'll say, okay, we're going to charge you tax. We're going to charge you income tax, sales tax, whatever. Take your money. We're going to borrow more money if that's not enough. And then we're going to take all this crazy money, debt that you're going to have to pay back later, and spend it on crazy stuff. Like literally manufacturing chemical weapons, manufacturing war machines to go around the world and literally kill. Literally just like do violent, terrible things. That's what is possible if people are not holding these people super accountable. That's already what's been happening. And like I said, I feel kind of obligated to talk about this. I just saw a picture right now of a little baby. I don't think it was in Vietnam, but it was definitely had some type of uh, deformity, and it reminded me of those kids in Vietnam with the Agent Orange, and that is a direct effect of. I mean, a lot of people actually protested the war in Vietnam, which was great. That was great. There's a whole movement of protest. Um, that's what people are supposed to do. They're supposed to hold these people accountable. Because if you don't, that's when you get those. These people can turn very evil. They can turn very corrupt, be very just power, just drunk with power. They say, hey, look, we got all this money at our disposal. Hey, let's do all this crazy stuff with it, and they'll do stuff like that. They'll literally, I think there's just like a $700 billion military budget passed, and what are they gonna do with that money? They're gonna create war machines. They're gonna pay these random corporations. They might own some of those corporations. It could be their best friends' corporations that are gonna manufacture tanks, manufacture giant missiles or weapons, guns, whatever. And then they're gonna even hire people from the citizenry who are probably struggling in life because instead of this money being spent on things that help them, they'll say, here's what we're gonna help you. We're gonna hire you, send you over to some random country to go possibly die and go terrorize some random people. That's what they do with your money. You give them money, and that's what they do with it. They say, here's what we're gonna do with your money. Here's how we're gonna help you. Here's the decisions we're gonna make with the money you gave us, with the money we borrowed that you're gonna pay back. We're gonna hire you to go around the world and put your own life in danger and terrorize other people, and just put you in a totally crazy situation for no apparent reason. Or they probably got their reasons. They probably got plenty of reasons. They probably got their own whole. They become power drunk. Power drunk people. They're like, look what we can do. We have this, and they just start conjuring up all types of crazy stuff. They're probably siphoning money into their own pockets. With like I said, like they could probably own companies their best friends do, and they create contracts. They say, oh, we need to build weapons. Okay, here's my best friend's company. We'll buy from them, and that money just goes straight into their pockets. Your money that they took out of your income tax, sales tax, whatever, money they borrow that they're going to tell you have to pay back. $22 trillion in debt is going to be put to random stuff. That's what's been happening. Don't get me wrong. There's some stuff. This is federal government we're talking about here. There's clearly like I don't know. There's random stuff that is stuff that is what money's being spent. Some good things, but there's a lot of crazy stuff that people spend money on. All this money that's being taken from you or being borrowed that you're gonna have to pay back should all be going straight back to you to benefit you. Nothing crazy. And if you don't hold these people accountable, that's not gonna happen. They're gonna take all your money and just go spend it on some crazy war, foreign aid. They're literally handing money to random people in random countries. Literally, they don't give up. They see these people that are just ignorant and blind and asleep, and they say, hey, look, we can do whatever we want. Okay, power drunk, spend money on crazy crap. And that's what's happening right now. We have an ignorant, uninformed society, and these people are not being held accountable. So what do? They do terrible things. They literally start wars, send you over there to terrorize random people, drop chemical weapons on people. You see exactly what I'm saying. I feel this is mandatory that people understand this. If you don't do your job of holding the government accountable, that's what happens. It's mandatory that people understand this. This was something else with the corporation. I was talking about fractional reserve banking and how corporations can get huge loans, which allow them to buy up, a lot of money-making assets and consolidate wealth, and that's how they got into power. So that's another thing people need to pay attention to. If you don't pay attention to that, what's going to happen? These people are going to keep coming up, consolidating wealth. But this right here, I just saw that picture of that little kid. I said, bro, like, and I just left this up, just happened to leave it up, and can use this exact diagram to explain exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't holding people accountable that you trust with your money, if you don't hold them accountable, they're gonna take that money, spend it to do terrible things. That's what they've already been doing. Pay attention, people. Please pay attention. I don't know how I can't like force. I can't even force anybody to watch this video, but like I said, I feel obligated to speak up on it. At least I don't know. I don't know. It just is what it is. I feel like it's mandatory almost. Pay attention to that too, because wealth being consolidated. Next thing you know, they own everything in the economy, and you're just a slave to a corporation, or working for these giant corporations for like minimum wage. So pay attention to that too. But definitely this, your money. If you're not paying attention to what's being spent on, it's gonna be spent on terrible things. Don't let that happen. Don't let that happen. With that being said, I feel obligated to talk about that. So there you go. I'm out of here. Pay attention. Stay woke. I'm out.